to the rendition of both the Indian and the American national anthems.
He's right. Can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? Jai He Bharat Bhagya Vidhata, Punjab Sindh Gujarat Maratha Dravida Banga, Vindhya Himachal Yamuna Ganga, Uchchal Jaladi Taranga, Baname jage तब शुभ आशीष मांगे, गाहे तब जय गाथा, जनगण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता, जय जय हे, जय हे, जय 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 Jai Hind.
All may sit down. There are several individuals, accomplished individuals, who will be paying a tribute to our, for a lack of a better word, departing Consul General. So to start with, the lead off is Mr. Iqbal Mirza, who is a very early contemporary of Dr. Ausaf Sayeed. I believe he was his classmate in grade 3. And his other claim to fame is he was president of an organization called Glory of FareWell. So please, welcome.
Thanks, everyone. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you to our great good friend, Dr. Ausaf Sayeed, the Consul General of India. On behalf of Indian community, I'm honored to welcome you all. We have community leaders, we have Consul Generals from different countries, we have community members and distinguished guests. Goodbyes may be hard for the person who's leaving, but it's always hardest for the people who you are leaving behind. I know Ausaf is a good friend of mine. I met him after 40 years when he came to Chicago as a Consul General of India. Matter of fact, Dr. Bani said he's my 3rd grade classmate. My brother, I don't know if he's here, me and my brother were together with him, along with Dr. Nasir, I don't know if he's here or not. So 4 of us from the 3rd grade. So met in Chicago after 40 years. So you can tell us, but I don't remember any good stories to share with you tonight. But it's always good to have a friend like Dr. Ausaf, who's a wonderful person, selfless, great community leader. That from Allama Iqbal, मिटा दे अपनी हस्ती को अगर कुछ तमन्ना, अगर कुछ मर्तबा चाहिए, मिटा दे अपनी हस्ती को अगर कुछ मर्तबा चाहिए, कि दाना खाक में मिलके गुलजार होता है, कि दाना खाक में मिलके गुलजार होता है, if you want to accomplish something, you have to be a selfless leader. So we have the testimony that we have so many community leaders joined here for saying goodbye to Dr. So Dr. Ausaf, the meaning of this is like Dana, the seed when you sow it, it blossoms and becomes a flower. So he helped us across the board, everybody, whenever we called him for any help. We will miss him greatly, and always be missed. Anybody can fill his shoes. Thank you so much, and we'll have a great program tonight. Enjoy. Thank you. God bless.
Thank you, Iqbal. That did show the number of years you've spent, or the gap didn't really matter. So the next person I would like to come and speak is a very, very well-accomplished individual, Mr. Hardik Bhatt. He's the Chief Information Officer for the state of Illinois, appointed by Governor Warner. He has a master's from MS University. He's got in Baroda, a graduate school from Kellogg's. He's had several appointments in different major technology industries, but right now he's serving the state of Illinois as the Chief Information Officer. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Hardik Bhatt.
Thank you very much. It's my pleasure to be, I wouldn't say it's a send-off, Dr. Sayeed, because I'm sure we are going to meet each other once again many times. But it's really, whenever somebody leaves, it's sad to see them go. But the time that you've spent, I can dare to say that you're one of the finest CGs that I had the pleasure to work with, whether in my role as the Mayor Daley's CIO or as Governor Rauner's CIO. Something called Power of One. And you also showed that, when we just simply had that lunch and we talked about we should do something about smart cities and smart states, and before we know it, we had the partnership agreement with Telangana. So again, there was something like that with the Indian bureaucracy and the American bureaucracy combined, it's multiplied by 2 or 4 or 8, who knows the speed or slowness, but we could get it done. I wish we could get the other 2 done too, but I'm sure I can work with your successor to get the Andhra Pradesh and Gujarat also done, because we want to start executing on those. Also, I know Nimish has said this many times in your other FareWell. I also belong to the BAPS Swaminarayan Mandir, an active volunteer there, and we remember when our Guru passed away in India, you opened up the Indian consulate to help everybody to get the Indian visa, whatever they needed to get to India. So thank you very much on behalf of BAPS. Also miss Mrs. Sayeed a lot. Her, the work that she did on those eggshells, my dad still remembers it, and he still cannot believe that there was handcrafted work done on those eggshells. And your mixing nature, friendly personality, Jagrati could not be here, but she really is going to also miss you. And we are hoping that we can really bond with the next Consul General and her family, also like we have been able to bond with you. Thank you for leaving your kids here. We'll definitely continue to stay in touch with them. And I also have an official letter from the governor that I'm going to read for you. Dear Consul General Sayeed, as Governor of the state of Illinois, I'm honored to offer my sincere gratitude for your service as the Consul General of India. To the increasingly interconnected world, it is important that we continue to take steps to strengthen our business and cultural relationships with other nations. Throughout your service as Consul General, you have been instrumental in fulfilling that critical, and here in Illinois, we are honored to be partners with India in shaping the future, and your work has certainly helped citizens to understand the importance of that partnership. You have worked diligently to improve the mutually beneficial relationships between our nations and strive to ensure continued economic prosperity for the people of both India and Illinois. On behalf of the people of Illinois, I thank you for your dedicated efforts and wish you all the best in your future endeavors. Signed by Bruce Rauner, Governor, State of Illinois. Let me hand this over to you.
Thank you, Hardik. The next person on deck is Mickey Straub, also called Mayor Mickey of Burridge. He certainly received my vote at least twice, where I reside in Burridge, and originally from Pennsylvania. He's served in the Department of Defense, but now he's serving the people of Burridge, including me, and we are tremendously happy that he is our mayor. Also called People's Mayor. Mickey, please welcome.
Well, I don't know that, frankly, I'm deserving to be up here, as I'm sure that many of you know the ambassador even better than I do. But I've certainly gotten to know the over the last 3 years, because he was everywhere. He was certainly everywhere. Though I almost didn't recognize him today. He didn't ride in on a car waving as everybody, as I've seen him at the Naperville Parade, Independence Day, of course, downtown at the polo fields, etc. But it's just an honor and pleasure to be here tonight. And this is as the CIO of the governor's right-hand man there indicated, this isn't really a goodbye. You know, this is a thank you. This is a recognition for all the work that you've done, all the relationships that you've built. It's kind of like a graduation, but it's also like a commencement. You know, it's a new beginning for you, certainly, a new beginning for your community here, a new beginning for me as well, and it's just going to be. We are going to miss you deeply. It's been an honor to get to know you as well as we have, and anybody that's ever met him, of course, knows by the shake of his hand or the sparkle in his eye that he's a man of peace, love, and prosperity for all. And God bless you. We're going to miss you.
The next person I'm going to invite is an individual who heads an organization with a name which is very familiar to Chicagoans, a name which is entrenched in Chicagoan history. More than 155 years ago, there was one individual who came to this part of the world and made an impact. And obviously I'm referring to the person, Swami Vivekananda. There's a Vivekananda Vedanta Society here, and His Holiness Swami Ashtamananda is here to speak a few words. He is very well involved in this organization from 2013, has conducted numerous seminars, and truly a holy man. And I am privileged to ask him to speak.
Friends, I'm really very happy to get the invitation from Mr. Sayeed to come over here in this August gathering. But at the same time, I agree with the first speaker, who his beloved friend, who said it is so difficult to say goodbye to a friend. And particularly, it is so difficult whom you like, whom you love. So that is Mr. Sayeed, Dr. Sayeed. This Dr. Sayeed, I invited him to speak in one of our functions, the Vedanta Society functions. And he came and told Swamiji, what should I speak? I told, then can you speak on Sri Ramchandra, the very famous god of Hindus? Okay, I will. And I was wondering, am I asking so much from him? He went and spoke on Sri Ramachandra, and so wonderful, each and every one was very happy. And they were very, oh my God, we never knew about Sri Ramachandra even being a Hindu. And that is his knowledge. He is so cooperative. One couple came, elderly couple, to me and told the Swamiji, we are having some problem. We are having the American passport, but we like to send something or to go to India, but this is the problem. I ran to him. Immediately he picked up the phone. Swamiji sent it to me. I asked him to go. Then they came back and told Within 5 minutes, he solved all the problems. So can you say goodbye to this type of person? We should say, we'll stay back. So this is a frame, his knowledge, his behavior, his courtesy, his gentleness, is really wonderful. But life is a flow. You cannot stop it. So we have to say goodbye whether we like it or not. But we can pray that wherever he goes, and his very gracious lady, Mrs. Sayeed, every time, in Sanskrit we call Ardhangini, Dharma Sangini. And like the half of the man, and constantly supporting the person in his own endeavor, that is she. And she was all the time smiling and cooperative. And she also will let us pray, wherever these two goes, let them be healthy, happy, and make each and every one friendly. By that way, the message of eternal India will reach to every corner of the world. Thank you for inviting me, and thank you, Dr. Sayeed. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. I need to give this book to Dr. Sayeed, if you please come. This is a book on Swami Vivekananda, the first monk who came to America.
Swami, थोड़ा सा बाहर. One second, sir.
If the Consul General position was a candidate's position, we would have said 4 more years or 3 more years. The next person I would like to invite is the Consul General of Lithuania, Mr. Marius Gurinas. I would like him to come. Labas.
Wow. My dear friend, dear colleague, dear neighbor, actually, it's always difficult to say farewell to neighbor, even though we know that all of us, we are very temporary. We come, we serve, and then we have to leave. When leaving, we always bring back something from the places where we stayed. So I wish you bring home, back home, deep in your heart, not only the cold wind of this city, but also the warm hearts of the people who live here, whom you have met. When I will go home, in somewhere half a year, I will have somewhere in my heart one nice Indian family whom I've met, the family of Sayeed. I've never seen a wife, I hope I won't have any problems back home, but of diplomat who is so talented. When I watched her eggs, the eggs she crafted and made, I think, I don't know, it's unbelievable. I've seen many diplomats and many diplomat families. Never ever in my life I've seen such a talented person, so really. And you know, we speak the languages which are really close together. Lithuanian language originates from the Sanskrit, the same way as your language. No one can explain how come we live that far, but when I've met those two wonderful people, I am pretty sure that our ancestors somewhere, I don't know, 1,000,000 years ago, lived somewhere close. We have very similar big hearts. So thanks a lot and all the best to you.
When I look into the crystal ball, I feel 6 years from now, Mr. Sayeed will be an ambassador in Vilnius, Lithuania. So, amongst us, we also have Michelle Mossman. She's the state representative for Illinois from the 56th district, and I would like to invite her to greet this gathering and her words for our Consul General.
So I'm delighted to be able to attend tonight. I've had the great pleasure of sitting with you at a number of events, and I will miss seeing your smiling face dearly. I'm glad that you are finally getting the recognition for clearly all the hard work that you've put in, and had an opportunity to say goodbye to all of your friends, and they get to recognize you properly. So I wish you well, and wherever it is that you land, and all the adventures that you and your wife will continue to have, and thank you for including me tonight.
Thank you, Michelle. The next person would be Mr. Sampath Ramesh, who's an adjunct professor for global management at the Kellogg School. He's had serves on various boards. He's particularly involved in many business ventures both in India and US, and he's a mentor to several students. Please join me welcoming Sampath.
Good evening, everybody. Well, it's definitely a pleasure to be here. Definitely on an occasion like this. Though we're going to miss him, but I think he's got more to travel, more people to meet. For somebody who knows him very well, and I got to tell you as an educationist, my meeting with him was to invite him to talk to some students in my class who were making a trip to India. And the way he explained India to them, the way he put across what a great country we have, I was mesmerized. And I think he carries that type of pragmatic expression, and therefore I would definitely like him to travel the world, spread the goodness he's got, and also the way that he can communicate to people. The number of events that he has done, I think he's probably set a record for the Consul Generals who have been here. I've been associated with the government myself, and I've served under a couple of ambassadors here and Consul Generals here, and been in this office for many, many, many years. And in my own experience, I can tell you that his pragmatic way of involving the people, involving companies, local companies, involving the local government, I think is a treat to watch. I wish him the best. I wish Dr. Mrs. Sayeed the best. The son's wonderful time. We're all here. We'll take care of you. So with that, I wish him the very best, and we want to see you back here. So maybe there's the ambassador. Good luck to you, sir.
I would remiss if I did not say the wonderful crowd here who are in rapt attention, no sidebar conversation, no personal conversation. Please continue in that mode. Thank you. The next person I want to invite is Mr. Syed Shahnawaz Khan. He's the Vice Chair of the Council of Islamic Organizations of Greater Chicago, has served in several similar organizations, and now he is in the whole council as a Vice Chair. An engineer by profession, I would like to ask Mr. Khan.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Hello and Assalamu alaikum. Ashfaq, thank you for organizing this. Dr. Ausaf, it's a pleasure and an honor to associate with you for the past several years. You have represented India in the most honorable way I know of, and in a very unique way. I know we all want to be unique in our lives. We want to be different. And everybody wants to be unique. But the world we live in puts in immense pressure on us and tells us to be like everybody else. The challenge for being unique is you got to face hurdles, and challenges. And Dr. Ausaf has done this very well in his own unique way. And I want to thank you and congratulate you for it. You know, it reminds me of a ayah from our holy book, Quran. This is from ayah number 13, from Surah Hujurat. It says, Ya ayyuhan nas, inna khalaqnakum min zakarin wa unsa, wa ja'alnakum shu'uban wa tarafu, wa khabailan li tarafu. Inna akramakum indallahu atqakum, inna allaha alimul khabir. The translation of this is, O you mankind, surely we have created you of a male and female, and made you nations and tribes, that you may know each other. Surely the most honorable of you is the one who fears God. Surely God knows and is aware of it. So this is an ayah that tells us that God, by design, has created us into different colors, different shapes, different religions, different nations, different tribes, right? So the challenge is, if God wanted, He would have created homogeneity. It would have been easy for all of us to live together. But He created us in a heterogeneous manner. Why? Because He wanted to give us challenge. And the challenge is to face the challenges that God throws and the world throws at us, and be on the right side and do the good things. And from what I have seen from Dr. Ausaf, he has articulated the fulfillment of this ayah very diligently, and he, with his God-fearing attitude, he has brought all the communities together. In fact, the people who are represented here are from the two greatest democracies in the world. We have gathered together here, and he has created a bridge between us. And this is what this ayah is talking about, that you need to know nations, you need to know people, you need to know how to reach across and work together and trust each other and depend on each other for a peaceful world. And Dr. Ausaf, you have really performed miraculously well, and I congratulate you for it. Now, regarding Farah Sayeed, she's very artistic. She's got the artistic talent that was seen in the gallery presentation, the public gallery that she had in downtown Chicago. We all have seen the marvelous pieces that she has made. And her mesmerizing personality and simplicity has impressed my wife Saleha more than I could impress her. So thank you very much, Farah, and really good luck to you all. And your family is here. So, you know, I was watching an Indian movie, they said, every time the picture ends, you say the end. But I guess with your children here, it's not the end, picture abhi baki hai. So let's hope that.
Thank you, Shahnawaz. I would like to invite an individual who represents the Sikh Religious Society of Palatine. He is the coordinator for community outreach, public and media relations. He's formerly an alum of the FBI Citizens Academy. He's trustee emeritus of the Council of the Parliament of World Religion. He is an engineer by profession and retired from Navista recently. Mr. Rajinder Singh Mahu.
Assalamu alaikum, namaskar, and Sat Sri Akal. Dr. Sayeed, in the last 3.5 years, I think ever since we met, I've been very much impressed by your Hyderabadi hospitality. Your welcoming nature and pleasant personality, relationship building, inviting everyone, and just willingness to help, and making things easier for everybody else. It may be work, it may be social, it may be anything. So thank you so much for doing all that. Not only that, you have transformed a culture of work, a culture of consulate office. Everybody has that image in their mind, that of old British, colonial British Indian officers with their chip on their shoulder and an arrogance of some sort of them and us. Whereas you have changed all that to a mutual respect of the people on this side of the desk versus the person standing in front of you that you're going to do business with, and that's great. And you have transformed this staff by setting an example of yourself, by practicing it by yourself. It's not that, you know, do as I say, but I don't do as I say. During your term here of this 3.5 years, our paths have crossed many times, and we have cooperated on doing several meaningful community service projects and works. Of course, some of them come to mind. The Sikh exhibition that was displayed at State of Illinois Building, Thompson Building in their atrium, that went very well, not only there, but also in Wisconsin and Michigan and other places. Then the consulate staff held the camp at Sikh Gurudwara in Palatine. And also, we had meetings, information exchange meetings about the consulate services, where, to the surprise of all our community, the Punjabi community, the whole consulate staff was there. Anybody could have asked any question related to any of their different departments, and they were right there. But surprisingly, Dr. Ausaf Sayeed knew everything. Even I remember the consulate staff was also surprised. Wow, he knows each and every detail of each and every visa, passport, OCI, this and that. How do you fill out the forms, how you do that? Because usually the people at the top, you know, they just know the big picture, and the details are left to the staff. But to top it all off, I think the most memorable, the most outstanding, and the most historic event that you will remember the rest of your life, and we will remember the rest of our life, that I'm going to share now. You know, ever since 1984, it's more than 32 years now, Dr. Sayeed, you are the first Indian Consul General who had the courage and who felt comfortable to set foot in the Sikh Gurudwara in Palatine. And of course, in the official capacity, others might have gone there to attend friends' events, things like that. And you were treated as a friendly guest. You were asked to speak to the congregation. You partook longer. You walked around with people and socialized with the membership. I think that was wonderful. And that not only healed some wounds, but also, on the other hand, opened up cordial communications. And that has been wonderful, really wonderful. I'm sure for that event, people on both sides were nervous a little bit. I don't know what's going to happen. But the Sikhs have a big heart, and so do you, Dr. Sayeed. So everything went wonderful, and we are very, very happy that happened. And with those channels of communication, a friendly and cordial relationship with not only yourself and the rest of the staff, Mr. Bhatti is here, Mr. Meena is here, those people. And that changed from a stone-faced visa and passport kind of interaction in the consulate office to a personal relationship that you could call these people and get in touch with them. I have lived in Chicago area for more than 45 years, and I think I have come in contact with maybe more than a dozen consul generals of India in Chicago. But tell you what, honestly speaking, I can't remember most of their names, maybe one or two here and there. But Dr. Sayeed, it will be very, very hard to forget you and your name. कहते हैं कि हजारों साल नरगिस अपनी बेनूरी पे रोती है, borrowing some couplet from इकबाल साहब. हजारों साल नरगिस अपनी बेनूरी पे रोती है, बड़ी मुश्किल से होता है चमन में दीदावर पैदा. And we are grateful for that. And your turn in Chicago was a class act. And it'd be very hard to fill those shoes. We will miss you, but wish you even greater success in your next appointment. And wish you all the best. Khuda Hafiz. Bahut shukriya. Thank you.
Healing is a good feeling.
Assalamu alaikum, namaskar, sat sri akal, and good evening, everyone. First of all, I would like to thank the organizers for giving me this opportunity. This is an honor to be speaking at this event. I think the first time I met Dr. Ausaf Sayeed was in our Glenview Jamaat Khana when he accepted our invitation and he came for a book launch for one of the visiting scholars from the Ismaili Institute in London. And since then, I think the Ismaili community can proudly say that we have found a friend and a leader who has passion to serve the community, serve the humanity, is always willing to collaborate and come up with programs that benefit the community. So just last September, we co-hosted an event which was the viewing of the video of Humayun's tomb, the restoration of Humayun's tomb. And it's these type of events that basically help us see the great work that the government of India is doing in collaboration with local and international partners. And just like a few other speakers mentioned how Dr. Sayeed had impressed them, we had a situation over there when at the end of the event, they asked both Dr. Ausaf Sayeed and myself to take a chair and sit in front of the audience and respond to questions. And those were really, really tough questions. And I must say that Dr. Sayeed, you saved me on that day. It was very, very hard to sit there and answer those questions. And I also want to thank Mrs. Sayeed for your work. I think this was the first solo arts, the Egg Arts exhibition that we had in Chicago. And I think these are remarkable contributions by your family that all the Chicagoans will miss. And I know that as Chicagoans, we know that we can't compete weather-wise with where you're going next. But we hope that the warmth of our friendship will always remind you of us. And we wish you all the best in your next appointment, and inshallah, the success will be with you. If I may request you to please accept a token of appreciation from behalf of the Ismaili community.
I hope an individual who was driving that car has really moved that car from where it is. I would really appreciate it. The next individual I would like to invite to speak, if I had to really do a comprehensive introduction of that person, it would take more than what time permits me to. This is a person who I know for at least 3.5 decades, a phenomenal leader, a person who was the past president of AARPI, also numerous advocacy groups, my colleague, a cardiologist, a devoted husband and a father and a grandfather, a 2-term elected mayor of Oak Brook, Dr. Gopal Lamalan.
Good evening. First, a word of gratitude committee. Afshan, I appreciate the invitation. I was right there. You moved pretty fast. As well as Dr. Prem Rupani, who invited me today. Honorable, actually, His Excellency, Ausaf Sayeed, Dr. Sayeed, and Farha. Honorable Mayor from Burbridge, Mickey Straub, Swamijis and spiritual leaders are here as well. I truly seek your blessing as well. Many honorable Consul Generals are here as well, and I thank them for participating. As well as many community leaders. I see a whole crew of FIA leadership over here, up in the front. These are the people who actually do the work in the community. I'm just here taking some credit on their behalf. And I don't know what to say actually also about you, because I'm too nervous to say goodbye and so on and so forth, because I've only gotten to know you about 3.5 years, and it's been a touching experience. You touched my heart and my soul. Instead of saying goodbye, I'm actually going to say till we meet again. Because I do believe you're coming back to the United States as the ambassador, as one of the speakers. And it could be sooner rather than later, guys, so be prepared. But the little bit that I've known of you, His Excellency Ausaf Sayeed, you have impressed me, because I've come across since '73, since I came to this country, about a dozen consul generals, if not more. And he has been the most dynamic, most active, most colorful, most involved in the community. He has brought our fractured community together. You're actually more like a doctor, like an orthopedic surgeon who takes care of fractures. And I think you've done it so successfully over the many, many years I've been in this country. I've never seen a community so united. And I think you've been instrumental for all of us to come together. Your charm, your wit, and your attitude, positive attitude of bringing people together and taking care of them, your concern for them. And every time we have a problem, and many of our friends have visa problems, this problems, that problems, I have direct access with him, and he takes care of them. And there are very few people in the past, your consul generals in the past, who have been so connected with us like you have been. And we're going to miss you. And you've set the bar so high, the future consul generals are going to have a hard time getting there. Even halfway there. Now, as a village president or mayor of village of Oak Brook, I do have to do my function, which is a proclamation that the village of Oak Brook has issued for both Farha and you. And I'd like to read that briefly. It's a very brief one-page proclamation. Oh, by the way, before I forget, the village of Oak Brook is so thankful to our Consul General, Ausaf Sayeed,
for the help that he has given me. I've been village president or mayor for the last 6 years. And for the 3.5 years that we have been working together, he has helped us so much, particularly with the issue and the functioning of our polo. As many of you will know, Oak Brook used to be the polo capital of the world a couple of decades ago, and it sort of died away, and Consul General came and he reactivated us and re-energized us and pumped in a lot of energy, brought in the Indian team for 2 years in a row under the chairmanship of Vikram Sodhi, I believe was his name, Vikram Singh from Delhi. And I'm so thankful on behalf of the village that you've done so much for us, and we're very appreciative. And this is why the proclamation is there. I'm going to read you. It's a brief proclamation of appreciation. Whereas Dr. Ausaf Sayeed, as Consul General of India, Chicago, since August 6, 2013, has served the states of Illinois, Indiana, Iowa, Michigan, Minnesota, Missouri, North Dakota, South Dakota, and Wisconsin. I don't know how you make it all over there, but we need to thank you for all the work. Whereas the Consul General, Dr. Ausaf Sayeed, has over 27 years of dedicated diplomatic experience and has been enthusiastic in promoting India's rich cultural heritage abroad. Whereas we salute Consul General Dr. Ausaf Sayeed for his invaluable leadership in uniting the Indian American community to work together. Whereas he's been instrumental in arranging for the Indian polo team to play in Oak Brook's polo matches and has always been a friend of Oak Brook. Whereas the village of Oak Brook bids a fond farewell to Consul General Dr. Ausaf Sayeed and his wife Farha Sayeed as they leave Chicago to pursue other endeavors. Now therefore, Malani, by virtue of the authority vested in me as president of the village of Oak Brook, do hereby proclaim and recognize the immeasurable contributions of Consul General Dr. Ausaf Sayeed. In witness whereof, I have here to set my hand and seal on this 13th day of January 2017, signed by the village president and the village clerk. And it's my honor and really true privilege, actually, to present to you this proclamation, to you as well as Farha. More than a full partner with you. She makes you look good, Asa. Thank you.
Well, I can't resist to say, Neetu, can you stand up? You look better with her.
Thank you.
So that's Neetu Lamlani, Gopal's wife for more than 41 years, I
Makes
guess.
it happen.
We are almost close to our persons who are paying tribute to him. It's my job to talk a little about my fellow Hyderabadi. Ausaf Sayeed, I got it in medicine, he's got it in geology. He is the 1989 BH of the Indian Foreign Service, has served in various diplomatic capacities all over the world, to name a few, Yemen, Denmark, Egypt, etc. He's an author of several books. He's also got a diploma in Arabic from the American University at Cairo. He is a thoroughbred Hyderabadi, and he's developed an immense friendship with all of us here, and along with his wife, truly, it's going to be Chicago's loss. I would like to mention that I am not going to be doubting the competency and skill, but that individual will have a daunting task in matching the tremendous goodwill you have cultivated. And as far as Farah is concerned, you've heard this before from me, your egg sculptures have made me say that if there's Fabergé, there's Farah. So it's phenomenal things which she's done, and she's back in our hometown in Hyderabad and she couldn't be here, but she sends out your greetings and I'm sure she'll be in touch with both of y'all. So please join me with an ovation to welcome Mr. Ausaf Sayeed to give his final address to the community. Mr. Ausaf Sayeed.
Good evening, Namaskar, Sat Sri Akal, Assalamu Alaikum. I am truly humbled and touched by so much love and affection which the community has showered on me, my wife and my family. I don't know whether I really deserve of so much of your appreciation. I did simply the duty which has been assigned to me by my government, which is to look after the diaspora interest, create a bridge between India, a great democracy, and the United States, another great democracy, engage with the business community, engage with cultural organizations, engage with educational institutions, bring the community together. We, as you know, in India, we carry a civilization, represent a civilization of more than 5,000 years. And this civilization over a period of time assembled so many different cultures, so many different faiths, then it has become an example to the world as a mini world. You know, you have people of all different faiths you can imagine in the globe represented in India. So as a Consul General of India, or any diplomat who represents India, you are to represent the history, the culture, the faith, the civilization, and the whole of India. So this is what, in my nutshell, I try to do. And as many of the distinguished speakers who have mentioned, I'm very thankful. I'll make a few remarks on each one of the thing what you have said. But as Swamiji mentioned, thank you Swamiji first of all for your gracious presence here. He narrated to you that, you know, on the stage he asked me, I was not prepared actually, he invited me, I said, Swamiji, I'll come and talk. So when he asked me to speak and I spoke, see, this is nothing unusual really, I would say, because as an Indian, you are supposed to know of your history, culture and all the religions. So Swamiji, it was a great pleasure to work with you, seek your blessings. We did meet the Prime Minister together and we did invite him to come to Chicago. I wish that he would have come while I was here for 3.5 years, but nevertheless, we do hope that he will be coming soon. And Swamiji had shared with me several great ideas relating to the Vivekananda Vedanta Society and his vision for humanity as such. There's so many things, so many plans. So really, I'm very thankful to you, dear friend Hardik. You are a matter of pride, great pride for the entire American diaspora, because you, as many of you may be aware or not aware, he is the highest ranking official, Indian American official in the cabinet of Governor Bruce Rauner, an extremely intelligent person, and of course he wears several hats, and of course he and Nimish Jani also represent the Bab Swaminarayan Temple, and I had the opportunity of visiting Bab Swaminarayan Temple, celebrating Diwali, and then of course seeking the blessings of your gurus. And we got a very good letter from the organization bidding me farewell. See, what little we did, what you mentioned, Hardik, is nothing but our job, and we really we did that. But I must credit to you that as he was mentioning, it was an idea that we were sitting together at lunch and we thought of doing this the memorandum of understanding for smart state cooperation. And then I'm actually also very surprised that we were able to pull it up so fast. So we did for Telangana, but I must assure you that Andhra Pradesh is very keen, and as you mentioned, Gujarat is also equally keen.
and I hope that this will be done in the next 6 to 8 months, and I will be most happy when I hear this news that is there. And certainly I and most of the community members have very high expectations from you. You are already holding a cabinet rank in the Governor Bruce Rana's cabinet, but you will definitely rise much ahead. So thank you for your comments, and thank the Honorable Governor. He is one of the most outstanding governors. I know I had the opportunity to meet him several times. So for his letter and for his kind words. I thank Mayor Mickey Storp. We have been meeting so often, of course, in different capacities, and sometimes formal, sometimes informal. And of course, Dr. Gopal Manani, I share a very special bond with you, because the moment I met you, I think 2-3 years ago, it was a kind of a natural affinity towards you. And whoever I had met in Oak Brook and outside of Oak Brook, in the whole of Chicago, they have nothing but words of praise for you, for the extraordinary work which you have done. And that's why I think you had been elected with overwhelming majority and with people's support. So he is again a people's mayor, and so is Mayor Straub, Michael Straub. So I think I would request you for one round of applause for these two men. Sampath Rameshji, where is he? I can't see him. Oh, here is. So Sampath has been a great friend, and he leads a course. He heads a course called Global Initiatives in Management, which is focused on India. And every year he takes a class of almost about 25 to 30 students from the Kellogg Business School to India, and I had the opportunity of addressing those students. It is an extraordinary group which goes to India, and then they interact with leadership. They had the opportunity to meet the president and all. So I thank him also for his kind words. Brother Syed Shahnawaz Khan Sahab, I really am thankful to you for your very kind words. I had the pleasure of knowing you and working, in some of the activities which you had, organized under the CIOGC platform, under the Downtown Islamic Center platform. Janab Kaisaluddin Sahab is also here, very veteran, community member, and your work on interfaith to bring the different communities together, I think is certainly something to emulate, and we really salute you for your great contribution, and I'm really truly humbled by your words of kindness for me. Magoji, you have said things so kind, and I always got extraordinary love and affection from the Sikh community. And one of the things which was said by Shahnawaz Sahab and Swamiji also is about traveling. I think you quoted the ayah of Quran. And the other day when the Sikh community hosted a farewell for me, almost around 250 Sikh, gentlemen from representing different gurudwaras, different cultural societies were there, and he spoke about some of the programs which we organize. So one thing which I had always quoted was on the traveling aspect is Guru Nanak Dev's message to his followers. The ones who he liked very much, who were very, very dear to him, he actually gave them the blessing is Ujjar Jao. Ujjar Jao means disperse. So you would be very surprised why Guru will give a blessing like this to disperse. What he meant was those who are the most intelligent, those who can make a difference in the world, they should not remain stationary. They should move and then spread the message of love and affection. So I'm deeply inspired by it. And again, I was always telling them that Sikh religion is one religion which also has in their holy book couplets from Muslims, Hindus, the foundation stone of the Sikh temple in Amritsar was also laid by a Sufi saint who was especially called from Lahore at the time. So we have such a example of faiths who have been dealing very peacefully with and intermingling with different communities. Mr. Datwani, representing His Highness the Aga Khan Ismaili Council, we had, of course, the pleasure of working, on a couple of, beautiful programs which you mentioned about. But then I also had the interaction of, I had the pleasure of interacting with the Aga Khani community in various assignments before, and I would say that you are one of the most enterprising communities, I would say, and then Aga Khan Foundation is really doing significant work in India in the restoration of buildings. They are working with the Archaeological Survey of India, Ministry of Culture, and they have restored the Humayun Stone, they are restoring the Golconda Fort, and I think our government has asked them to also look into the possibility of restoration of Taj Mahal and many other places. So thank you so much for your engagement of your community in our work. But there are also different communities who I have been working with, almost every community. We have, of course, Mrs. Mani Rao here from the Parsi community. Of course, my diplomatic colleagues, Mariam Gurinas, and our Honorary Consul General Munir Chowdhury from Bangladesh. Marius is our neighbor in the sense, but our consulate and his consulate are face to face. So the same floor, and such a pleasure to know you and Madam yourself. And she has been the president of the women's side of the diplomatic corps, and in that capacity she has organized several things. Munir Chaudhary ji has been also kind to invite us on several of his things. So I'm truly blessed to have so many of you here representing different organizations. I see the Urdu organizations represented here. Haider is there, Syed Latif is there, and of course Prem Rupani, and so also our Dr. Gopal Almanani also represent the Sindhi community, and I had the pleasure of seeking the blessings of Dada Osmani when you invited me to attend that event, and I did speak at that point of time, and I mentioned that when Dada Osmani was talking about Hyderabad, and he was referring to the Hyderabad Sindh in Pakistan, from where the Sindhis have originated and come from, then I said we connect because I also represent the Hyderabad, but not Sindh Hyderabad, but Hyderabad Deccan. So I think this again, see in this same room you could see so many people representing different communities and faiths. I mentioned it yesterday in the FIA FareWell which they organized, that one day when the Jain community invited me this last year actually in their Mahavir Jayanti celebrations, and I was asked to speak, and there was a revered Jain scholar who had come from India, and he was actually a UN ambassador, so to say, in terms of the religious scholar. And I was to speak before him, so I spoke on Jainism, certain aspects of Jainism. And when I finished my talk, and then he spoke, his turn came to speak, and then he spoke in Gujarati because largely the community was Gujarati speaking. And he mentioned in Gujarati, and later somebody translated to me and said, perhaps the Consul General in his previous birth may have been a Jain for him to know so much about Jainism. So Swamiji, this is the India we represent, this is the culture we represent. So I may be a Muslim, I may be from Hyderabad, but I represent the whole of the country. I represent the entire nation, the entire India, all the faiths, everything which we all. So when and Iqbal Beg, my classmate, where is he? Yes, Iqbal Beg, we studied in the same school called Jawahar Upper Primary School in Hyderabad, and he and his brother Ahmad Beg, who is also sitting right there, Both of them were my classmates, and we met after 40 years, because you see, anybody to Chicago has given me so much you can't imagine. Both on the professional side, I would say this is one of the best postings we would have seen. As was the jurisdiction being mentioned, it's a huge jurisdiction from Missouri until North Dakota in terms of geographic size. In terms of the importance of the US Midwest, you are aware that it is one of the most important regions of the United States, where different states have the different strengths. You would say Illinois for IT, biotech, life sciences, Michigan for automobiles, innovation, Iowa for agriculture, and so on and so forth, Minnesota for medical devices, medical research. So there was so much to learn in these things. And I would also say on the personal front, I would say the Midwestern Americans and the friends I met, they are the best. They're so warm-hearted. They're so welcoming of anybody who is coming from outside. So I'm not just speaking about the Indian diaspora, but everybody. So it is something in a scenario like this, when you are representing, looking after such huge territory, which covers 10% of the total trade of India in the US Midwest, and we have 500,000 plus Indian diaspora here. And with, again, you talk about 100 Fortune 500 companies here, we have 80 Indian companies here, thousands of jobs being created by Indian companies here. So there is so much of things which is happening. Quality research is happening here. So I think this is something which was for me one of the most important positions. Anybody who would like to come here, and we try to do a little bit to improve in whatever manner we are, and I guess that I must have done something good for you to have recognized me. From here we are going to a small place which is smaller than Cook County. The population of that place is 1/3 the population of Indian diaspora in Chicagoland. But the place is unique in different ways. It is dubbed as the most beautiful place in the world, and one of the travel sites I think has also described it as one of the must-see destinations before you die. And also I think a country which is extremely close to India as a nation. Our Prime Minister, Sri Narendra Modi ji, visited the country in 2015. In return, the President of that country visited India. We have considerable engagement with country. I'm talking about country Seychelles. So if you say where is Seychelles, it is in Africa, on the east of Tanzania. But to make it simpler for you, it is very close to Mauritius, very close to Madagascar. Daily flights from Dubai, daily flights from Qatar, daily flights from Turkey, all over the world. And I think they attract more tourists than perhaps we as a big nation are attracting. But more than that, we have such close relations with that country. So it's a different arena. So we relocate ourselves, as the author Kanandal once said, the old order changes, leaving place to new. So you will have a new Consul General. She is Neeta Bhushan. She is 1994 batch of IFS, coming now from Abu Dhabi. She is the Deputy Chief of Mission there. She would be joining here a day after we leave. We are leaving on 21st of this month, so she will arrive on 22nd. I'm sure that she would carry on the work which we have been doing for the past so many years, not only me, but predecessors before me. It's basically, we do the job, and I believe that everybody does bring their own personal touch, but at the same time, the whole parameters are defined, and if those parameters are followed, there is nothing which will be done which you will feel sorry about, or which we will feel this thing. I'm sure I would leave behind thousands of friends here, as I have left behind thousands of friends in my previous postings. Even the posting where I was first posted, Cairo, where I went there to learn Arabic language in the American University in Cairo, we still have people in touch with us, and similarly all over the world. So I feel that when I'm leaving from here, I'm leaving behind a legacy of friends, dozens of friends who I can look up to, and again as a surety that we will be in touch and we will be engaged with Chicago. My 3 boys would be here, and they're right sitting next to I very fondly call them downtown boys because they're always moving in downtown. So now from South Michigan Avenue, they are moving to North Michigan Avenue in their own apartment. And I would fail in my duty if I do not mention Farha. We are married for 26 years now. And you would have seen her giving me company in almost everywhere and without much complaint. And she has been really an inspiration and great support. And so are these 3 boys, and who are always there. Sometimes, when they were young, they used to come to my office, and then they used to watch me work, and then their first question was, "What do you do? You don't do anything." They would see some files coming here, files going there, but then, they're great boys, and I wish them good luck. They are going to remain in this great country for studies, and then we'll see how you progress. But thank you so much for your love and affection. We will always remember you. We will always remember this posting. We will always remember each one of you. And again, before closing, an open invitation. When you feel chilly here, real serious winters like here now in January, it is 24 degrees there. Remember that. So, and it is 24 degrees not only in January, throughout, we are talking about 24 degrees centigrade. So 24 degrees centigrade throughout the year. So it's a perpetual summer, very unique place. Please do drop by. If you want to do anything, you will see that, okay, let's go and enjoy a place in Seychelles. And there you will find me and Farah to welcome you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
That truly touched everybody's heart, Ausaf. Thank you very much for this. And for those who are wondering what's 24 degrees Celsius, it's about 75 degrees Fahrenheit. So lest somebody is wondering. For an event like this to be really successful, which we all agree it is, there are individuals behind who have to have inherently possess professionalism, passion, and persuasiveness. And to epitomize that, there is one individual here.
You touched everyone's hearts. You will live in our hearts. One thing I'll say is, this is just a small vacation from the cold that you are getting for 3 years, and we hope that in the next 3 years you come back to this place in DC as our ambassador to represent us. I'd like to thank you, sir, for, I know it was a very tight schedule for you to take any time out to meet the community, and you did today. And you met not with us here, and that has been very gracious of you. I know there are a lot of things you have done that goes beyond your consular duties and obligations. You have touched hearts, as I said. Thank you for what you did, and we all, on behalf of the Indian community here, we all wish you good luck for what you do next. And we will take up on coming to Seychelles, definitely. So.